Do you want to know what I think is the craziest thing about life? You're always one decision away from completely changing the trajectory of it. And for my student Michael, that one life-changing decision was joining my one-on-one mentorship, where he would go from losing thousands of dollars on ads to learning our step-by-step strategies and having the support of my mentors, who would take him from $0 to over $80,000 in less than 60 days. And through some lessons learned, long nights, and early mornings, you're about to see how Michael went from praying that his dropshipping store would work to profiting over $20,000 in 60 days and living out his dream of making money in his sleep. But before I bring him in here, if you like this video and you want the chance of winning a free one-on-one call with myself and my team, smash that like button down below and comment the word case study with your biggest takeaway from today's video. Now, let's go ahead and bring Michael in here. What's going on, everybody? Got one of my star students in here, Michael. He's somebody who's been really taking advantage of the Supreme Econ mentorship. We're excited to go ahead and share his story. Michael, go ahead and give an introduction to yourself, where you're from, and a fun fact about yourself.
All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Kuhelaloa. I'm from San Diego. Fun fact about me, uh, played college football, love football.
When did you end up first joining the mentorship, and how did you know it was like the right fit for you?
So I joined the mentorship July, end of June, got started in July, beginning of July. I've been following you for a couple years though, since 21, since the interest in e-commerce came up, and I tried on my own too. Didn't find success, wasted some money, not wasted because you learn, but failed. And I was like, you know what? Let's hop on this.
And then when did you know, like, you took that initiative, you took that leap of faith for yourself. How did you know things were starting to go the right way for you? Like, how do you know it was the right thing?
Man, so just from the start, like seeing results, learning KPIs and data and seeing the results of that, the things I was putting out that I was learning. And then, I mean, it's like immediate feedback. I run ads, run videos, comes back. I see what's working, what's not working, a hook, the body, all of it. And then just seeing sales come in, your phone dinging with the Shopify notification. I mean, and more than once in a week, like it was definitely just the consistency of seeing results, like, and all the little things. It's not even, wow, I made $1,000 this week. Like, it was, yes, I got my first sale. I mean, running a creative testing campaign.
Being able to
Just
see
those
something come.
small wins. Yeah, definitely. Like, I've bought into something that works.
Awesome, man. And like when you first were getting going, as you mentioned, you already were trying to sell products. You didn't really have much success. So at this moment, you did join, right? And when you first joined, you put yourself in a position where you're open to the experience and trying to learn what came from it. And through that, you probably had some hurdles. Like it just was normal, right? So what would you say at the beginning, like was one of your biggest hurdles, and what tools did we provide you, or what things did we give that made you be able to overcome those hurdles?
I would definitely have to say product research. For me, like, I didn't even think it was that big of a deal when I was first learning stuff. And I know you said it time after time, but like to me, before I got with the mentorship, I was like, man, this product must do good. Not looking at the data, not looking at the trend, not following the system that you guys have taught me. So at first it was like, which route am I going to take to find products? Because there's so many ways and you provide so much, free way, the paid way, I think that hurdle was like one of the bigger ones in the beginning that I had to get over and actually put in the time in a couple hours writing down the stuff, does it hit this? Does it hit this? Is it meeting this requirement? And
Couldn't just
and
sell
and
any random product and get success.
right. No, before I tried to just sell whatever I thought was, like, oh, this is a great looking product. I mean, this has a wow factor, but there's so much more to it. And overcoming the product research part really kind of put me in a good place for everything else after. It set me up well for any other product I was testing.
Awesome, man. What honest advice, would you give someone looking to start drop shipping, based off of the experience that you're having or that you've already had? What would be the best honest advice you could give to someone?
Now, someone who wants to start drop shipping and has been interested, I would honestly say, uh, one, find someone who's doing what you want to do, and find someone who's really doing it. And I always felt that you were just so transparent over social media. I was like, man, this guy is like keeping no game. I had bought the blueprint. I was like, man, he's giving the game. Like he does. He talks, and walks the walk. So find someone that's doing what you want to do and invest in yourself. And if that means, paying for knowledge, you pay for that knowledge. You do it, and after that, just really, really trust the process, and buy into what you're doing and the work you're putting in. It's going to pay off.
I love that, man. I love that. And, starting off, like you mentioned, I asked you for that piece of advice because, I mean, let's be real, you weren't perfect from the very beginning. It's not like the first day you joined this mentorship, you just magically had success. Probably went through some lows. So in that moment, describe to me that low situation that you had and how did you get yourself out of it?
For sure. Definitely. It's a bumpy ride. It's up and down. It's like this until it goes like that. But after the first month, I had a notable low that, that sticks with me. And I remember it was the first week of August and I had stopped. I was like, I'm taking a break. I'm going to take this week off. Uh, I didn't see results that I wanted to see. And so it was making me feel, like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm doing something wrong, this and that. And I was like, man, this sucks. And then I had seen at the end of the month, um, a testimonial like this with Asian A, and how she had went crazy, and all the things she was going through in her first month, and then having a baby at the same time, and then just taking off. And it inspired me. It really inspired me to like kind of ground myself, come back to earth and be like, you gotta keep working, gotta keep trusting it, gotta keep going. Like,
If she can
and
do it,
so
you could do it.
yeah, exactly. If she can do it, she got a baby in her hand. She just gave birth, got a baby in her hand, and she's handling business. And I remember thinking like, man, I could do this. Just keep trusting the process. That was the biggest thing. Is trust the process. It's gonna pan out. And then it made me reflect, on that month I had $2,500, but I had tested multiple products. And before I tested barely any products and would lose $3,000. But I had seen sales. I had my the amount of money I put in for what I had got out of that month was so worth it. I learned building the store, running my own ads, building my own ads. Like, I had learned so much in that month, and in reality, I spent $3,000 and made 2,500 back in sales. So I had a $500 month where I put $500 more in, but I got so much out of it, so much. And I remember that first week of August, I was praying and I was like, man, God, come on, like, I'm gonna keep putting the work in, blah blah. But come on, give me a sign, you know what I mean, something. And then I remember just stopping myself in the middle of that prayer, like, you know what? I'm grateful for where I'm at. Like, God, like, healthy. I got a good job. I have the opportunity to even do these kinds of things, and learn, and find the time and put in this kind of work, and open my mind up to this stuff. I was like, I'm grateful where I'm at. It was a good month. What I mean? It wasn't compared to any month I had before. It was a good month. Um, taking what I thought was a failure, and looking at all the good that came out of it. And sure enough, like, I launched a new product a day or two later, and in 3 weeks in August, I did crazy numbers.
Trust me, I think everyone's about to see what it looked like when
Yeah,
you never gave up on yourself. And
yeah,
I want to say you should be very proud of yourself for what you achieved. I think everybody
appreciate it, man.
watching this is super excited to see what you've been able to achieve when you didn't give up on yourself. And I think it's time for you to go ahead and show what you've been able to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you share your screen, show us kind of what's been able to be done, and we'll just even jump into the first month. Like, what
Yeah.
were you doing even before you started drop shipping? And let's bring this whole story together and see kind of how you brought it all to life.
All right. So March to June 30th, I think March is when I started back up. I couldn't even tell you. But I definitely spent way more than $300 trying to figure this stuff out on my own. You know what I mean? Like, 0.31% conversion rate. It is just not, what I was hoping for.
Got
Even
it.
in 2021, when I got your blueprint, I did much better than this. And it just changed from then to now. Like, when I got back on, like, and I was struggling, and I was like, man.
basically March 1st, June 30th, you're trying to do it yourself. You came in
Hmm.
right at the very beginning of July, and let's go ahead and see what that first month was looking like. So you
First
went from
month,
$100 to right around 2,400. So there was some
right?
pickup happening here, some things you were learning. Tell me a little bit about what was happening here.
Yeah, honestly, this was just that first month was just taking it all in and applying, applying the pressure, taking these methods and listening to what you guys had to say, following your advice, you know, from product research to the KPIs, keeping my emotions out of things. You know, numbers don't lie. They
Uh-huh.
don't lie.
And
They
then
do not
from
lie.
July 25th and forward, is this that moment where you kind of just took a step back for a week? Is this that moment you were mentioning?
It was so like July 25th to the 7th, $40. That was that time I said, "Whoop, I'm taking this." And I think that video came out like the 27th, 28th of Asian A where I'd seen it and I was like, "Come on, Mike." Like, and I was just like, I need to take a break. I was working so hard in the month of July, just going to 9 to 5, straight from 9 to 5, doing this till 12, midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, waking up for the 9 to 5. I was just nonstop, like taking everything I could and just applying the pressure. And then I did the, 24, 2,500, and I was like, man, I was hoping for better. At least, but it was better. You saw before $300 and then 2,500, like that's big difference. You know what I mean?
Give yourself that mental break. You did what you needed
Yeah,
to
I
do,
did. It was
but
a
you sat
break.
there and you're like, I'm not done. I'm not
No,
done.
I was not.
Bounce back.
And did. And then sure enough, look, just
Uh,
August 8th to the 31st.
sheesh.
Sheesh, for real. Yeah, man.
$67,000 in
And
less
that's 3 weeks. Yeah.
from
And it,
scratch, literally from scratch. We just saw
yeah,
August 7th, you were at zero basically.
40 is like $40.
So what was
Man,
the difference in things that were happening right here?
man, I honestly think the biggest difference was it was much more focused approach. Everything I learned, it didn't feel like I was learning it. It felt like I knew it and I just needed to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing I'm learning and I'm seeing what's working, what's not, and I was like, and then when this time came around and I kind of buckled down and came down to earth, I was like, all right, you know what to do, you know what to look for, and make it happen. And so every approach I took, and from that moment on, was I was writing everything down I was doing. I was like, from the ad copies to how I was structuring the ads that I was making, and the content I was creating, like it was just so much more focused, and it was all due to that month I had before. I mean, I was just grinding. It's like, I guess, riding a bike. It became second nature to me to apply these methods and do it with intent. And it just
He said, all I
took
had to
off.
do was take off the training wheels. All I had to do is take off the
Right.
now
Basically.
driving. And then from there,
So
you still didn't give up. So what it
no.
from, let's go August 1st all the way to today. Let's say from the day you
August
really
1st to
started
today.
getting going to today,
Yeah, man. I'm at
$1,000.
80. I'm on my way to my first 100K. That sounds real nice.
First 100K. We're not even into Q4 yet. We're not even.
No, I know. I'm excited to prepare for that, knowing what I know.
So you're
Yeah,
able to
man.
keep conversion rate up. You're able to keep consistent traffic happening here. Were you doing anything
Right.
different with your ads to make sure that you could stay consistent, or what was going on here?
I kind of needed to level at the pace that I could handle, being realistic. Because 3 weeks it hit me so fast, and like I said, I work a 9 to 5, and my goal at the start of this was to make an extra few $1,000s. So I'm talking 10,000 in sales a month, and just taking a couple grand home. You know what I mean, to help out. And so when August came and I all that money, you know what I mean, and it comes with the work. I had to answer emails. I had to keep up with the Facebook page and the comments and these and that, and so I was like, okay. And so I kind of took everything that was working on it, because this stuff does it on its own once it's set up.
100%.
And I'm kind of just pacing it at this moment right now, because at the same time, I'm prepping a lot. I'm trying to get it right for Q4 as well. I hit a trend and it took off for me. Uh, and I'm still keeping a great pace. I'm still making money this month. I mean, I'm meeting my goals. Um, and so I'm just it's that much easier though. You guys gave me everything I needed to do what I originally wanted, but now I know that there's so much more I could get out of this. It's insane the value you guys have provided me and opened my eyes to.
I love that, man. I love that. What was that? What was, that feeling? Like you had this highest day right here. What was the highest day that you had in sales? What was it? And do you remember that day?
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember thinking, I'm gonna do $5,000 in sales in one day. This is nuts. I woke up and it was already like $1,500. Man, there's no feeling like it. To everyone wants to do things. Everyone sets goals. You got small goals, big goals. But like when whatever kind of goal it is, when you accomplish that, there's no comparing feeling about validating yourself and the things that you say you're gonna do. You know what I mean? And so like this day, $5,200 was that day on June 18th. You want I pull it our what day was that? August 17th, 18th?
Just even between
Man.
those 2 days, like,
No, oh, those few days I had, yeah, it was one of these days. 4,000, it's $5,217 in a day, man. Like
my gosh, bro.
I'm first off waking up, like I said, it was
Conversion rate.
yeah, the conversion rate, session, like everything, the order value, like all those things you taught us about. You know what I mean? Upsells and bundles and man, my average order value stayed up $55, $60. And it's still been that. Yeah, I remember waking up like during these days and this day, like, holy cow, like I've already made $1,000, $2,000 and it's I started my 9 to 5. I was like, I've made more money than I'm making my 9 to 5 already in profit. It's like, what? This is nuts.
He's
And
like,
it was
"Did I go to work tomorrow?"
I really did feel that way. I was like, man, I was like,
Your goal was
Mom, I'm gonna quit this job.
to make like a couple, $1,000 when doing this. Like, what was the goal that you actually had that you wanted to make profit wise? And we all know men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So, what was the actual profit you made over this 2 month span?
So can you see it? I got the profit calculator. And even on these days, I turned them off because I was away and I couldn't, I was like, hold up. But total profit for this sheet, $21,430. And this month it's a few thousand. Like I said, I scaled back, but that month I had did 20, 19, 20 in its own. Like, I mean, again, I made 20 some $1,000 in the last 45, 60 days, and I was making it in my sleep. I was working and making money. Uh, I was just like, this is unreal. I went to Disneyland. I bought my niece's tickets, didn't think twice about it. My mom needed a new laptop. She's in her doctorates. And I was like, Mom, I got you. I bought a laptop. And then the rest, I was like, putting it right back in.
Right back in, reinvest
Yeah,
at a higher level.
yeah, but I mean, it's definitely a great feeling, bro. Like, definitely changed my life. You guys at Supreme Econ,
Man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate
for
that. I
sure.
got a couple more questions I'll ask you. You can stop sharing your screen for now.
Yes, sir.
And then, you just mentioned it, like changing your life. We were in giving you the opportunity to be able to do that. You took the system, you applied it, and now you're in the position that you're in. So now that you have made this amount of money, what would you say has changed the most for yourself?
Man, just my mindset, my outlook on all this stuff that you see. Everybody sees everyone making money on the internet, and people think, man, like, how are they doing that? That can't be. It's a scam. This and that. But after this and going through this, I'm like, man, it really is ours for the taking. There is so much money out there. There's so much you can to learn and do and apply and it's just about, like I said, my mindset was the biggest thing. And for me, I feel like the greatest impact it has had though is my family and the people around me seeing what I'm doing, and they're like buying into that it can be different. You know what I mean? We can change the trajectory of our lives, like if we're willing to and we want to put in the work, you know what I mean?
And
I think that's the greatest impact this has had on me and mostly for the people around me.
that's great, man. I mean, family first, creating that generational wealth, and just being somebody who can show others that if I can do it, you can do it too. Just like Asian A was for you, just like how you could be for your
Right.
family.
Yeah, for sure. She
Uh,
was seeing that and seeing you all the time out here, spin game, giving it, trying to put people on. I mean,
be
you
trying,
making
man. I be
you're
trying.
trying to make an impact on people's lives and providing value, and some people are going to take it and run with it, and some are going to keep wondering if it's real or fake. And all you can do is, at the end of the day, is what do you want for yours? What did I want for myself? You know what I mean? I was like, I want better. I want better for the people around me. I want, but it takes being better for myself first. So I was like, I got to do it. I got to change myself, my mindset. And once I can do that, I can do that for the others around me. Seeing you do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like seeing you change the people around you, like,
It's
yeah,
one of the best feelings in the world. I will
yeah,
definitely say that. And another best feeling in the world, and you mentioned it earlier, is being able to say what I told myself as a goal, I actually did it. So I'm gonna hold
right.
you accountable, and I want everybody else watching right now to hold you accountable. What is the
Yes,
next 3 to 6 months gonna look like for you? What is your goal that you have? So we can come back here, watch this again,
right.
and we'll do another interview next year and be like, all right, we said we did it. So, what is that goal for yourself?
For Q4, my goal is to hit my first six-figure month, for sure. And my goal I'm putting out there that I for sure know I can get, um, but it's a big one and would change. I mean, it's a life-changing decision. As to quit my 9 to 5 in January. I want to be able to quit my 9 to 5, pay off my school loans, quit my 9 to 5, and do this stuff full time. Because I know if I had the time to invest in this and just had that leeway, I take off with this stuff. And
100%.
so my goal for Q4 is to make my first 100K in a month. I know I'm gonna hit the 100K soon, my first 100K, but do an actual $100,000 month. You know what I mean? Six-figure month.
That's
And
amazing, man.
then so we'll see. We'll see in 3 to 6
I know
months
it's
if
gonna
I
happen. I know it's gonna happen. I want to ask you one quick question, and it's just top of the head, but like, where do you think the success of your business would be if you gave yourself an extra 40 hours right now? Truthfully,
I
though,
couldn't even,
like,
truthfully, honestly, it would probably be, I probably would have hit six figures in this month. My thing is I committed to this, I made a commitment, you know what I mean, to this job I'm working, and I'm gonna see that through, you
and I
know,
like, yeah,
and that's why I'm staying on the 9 to 5. A lot of people ask me, why haven't I quit? Why aren't you quitting your job? You're making mad money, like in August, like, and even now I'm still making money every day. But I made a commitment to my 9 to 5, and I think it's important that we stick to the things that we say we're gonna do.
yeah.
So, but if I had those 40, 50 hours, oh, best believe
He's
I'd
like,
be
probably
launching a product every day. I'd have multiple going. I'd open another store up right now.
like
You know what I
that.
mean?
Well, my
I'd
last question
definitely,
I got for the day for you, my boy, is how do you think this mentorship could help others who are in the same position you were before you were joining?
I couldn't even begin to think where to start on that question and answering it. This, like I said, for me, in my experience, this changed my life. And I wanted it to. This mentorship, anyone who's looking to get into e-commerce, not sure, never heard a thing about it and want to change your life. This is definitely a route, a path, an opportunity to do that. But it starts with yourself. You gotta want it. You gotta take what they're giving you and apply it. This mentorship is worth every dime, dollar, and minute spent in it and put into it. And all the mentors that are there for you, man, I on my phone, questions, 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 and answers, answers, answers. Man, I remember going through some rough times when things were taking off, and they were there with me every step of the way. Um, I definitely wouldn't. be had any of this success without this mentorship. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. Ground zero, if you know nothing, you can come in here and these guys will take you as far as you want to go. Honestly, this thing is worth every dime, dollar, and penny, time, minute, all of it. It's all worth it.
Well, I appreciate you being in here, my boy. I'm gonna come
Yeah,
back here, January 1st, or right around the beginning of the year. We're gonna come and
yeah,
look at what you did, because we already know you're gonna hit a 6-figure month. I can't say how excited I am to say we told you so, and
yeah, man.
it's gonna happen, man. I want to say I appreciate your time and thank you so much for being in here.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you and everybody on the team. You guys are doing the Lord's work out here, impacting lives. You know what I mean?
We
So, bless to all of you guys. Appreciate it.
This was probably one of the most motivational interviews that I've ever done with one of my students, and it shows me that these interviews really impact the lives of each of you trying to succeed in the dropshipping space. If this video motivated you to keep going or to actually get started, go ahead and congratulate Michael and let him know how his success has inspired you in the comment section down below. Learning with our team is an experience in itself that can really make those e-com goals that you have come to fruition. So if that's something that you want to experience, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in my description down below so that you can apply for my one-on-one mentorship and book a free discovery call with my team. Who knows? That decision could be your life-changing moment. And trust me, when I say we have students just like Michael, absolutely changing their lives every single day at Supreme Ecom and showing off their successes inside my free success Discord channel. So if you just want to get in on the community and get motivated by the success that's happening around you, make sure you're going to click the link in my pinned comment and join my Discord. I can't wait to see the success and growth that you all continue to have. I'll see you all later this week. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.
They gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money till the site crash. They on IG tryna get a like back. See, they don't talk that talk, they just type fast.